Hey everybody, it's Irene with BrainStorm Acres, and obviously I'm in the studio. Now, if you're wondering why I'm wearing funny headphones, they're not actually headphones. They're actually hearing protectors because I've got a compressor that goes off periodically there, and I've been doing some other noisy stuff. So that just seemed like a great plan. Rufus, what are you chewing on, honey? Come here. Did you find a stick? Let's see your stick. Let's see your stick. Ah, I don't see your stick. Hopefully you didn't eat something. Okay. Anyway, I have a couple. I'm doing like 6 projects at once here right now, and I have a dog down here that's chewing on something. Come here. What do you have in there? Oh, yuck. Okay, that's a piece of grass. Let's see. Open. Open. I got it out. You could have a stick. Here's your stick. That's fine. He's allowed to have a couple of sticks we have here. But he apparently had grabbed a piece of, he does this once in a while, he'd grab a piece of grass as we walk down here, or to the house or anywhere else, and then it sort of gets stuck in his mouth. Not physically stuck, as it stuck into his skin, but he gets it like tangled up in his tongue and his gums and all that kind of stuff because he's got a little bit of jowliness. And then he's kind of going, blah, 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 trying to get it out. So I'll help him at that point, because you're always wondering whether he's gotten into something else that he shouldn't have. Because you don't ever do that, do you, Rufus? Oh, he says, yes, I do. Anyway, I need to finish up the Vic-9. If you have been following us before, you know that the Vic-9 is a vacuum casting machine that I use for doing my lost wax casting in the studio as part of my business. It was taken apart because we had a flask explode. What are you chewing on now, dog? God bless it. Now you have a piece of cardboard. I don't know where that came from. Well, that's part of the, that's actually paper. That's some of the paper that we used to start the wood stove. Okay. Don't chew on the planet. Chew on the stick. You have a stick of your very own. Yeah, you have your very own stick. There it is. See? It says, yes, that's my stick. Okay. Yes, lost wax casting. I need the Vic-9 in order to be able to lost wax cast. Because I need the vacuum capacity that it has. So, I'm going to turn you guys around and let you see what I'm doing. I'm going to finish this up. Then I'll do a test on it to make sure it works correctly. And then I'll get on to some other things. Okay, here's the Vic-9. If you recall, this is where we do the vacuuming to take the bubbles out of the investment. That's the plaster-like substance that we use to create the molds for actually casting metal. This is the part that was damaged when I had a flask explode. Now, when I explode, I mean this was full of investment. It was on here, and it broke, and it pulled down stuff into the machine. Now, it's designed to protect itself from that sort of behavior, because it happens once in a while. Now, honestly, I don't think it's happened here in like 6 years, but it still is going to happen at some point. It's just an inevitability. So I have the replacement part for this, and I have, because this is the old one, and there's the metal that actually poured into it. And I could probably reuse this, but it's kind of crunchy looking now. So I will put in a new one instead, because that makes sense. Let me pick this guy up. Move this over a little bit. A little space. I had to move some things around here because I was doing something else the other day. Okay. Now, I took part of this apart the other day, and I have replaced the filter in here. And I have also cleaned the, this is the filter I replaced, and you can see it's actually melted from the heat. The metal did not get down this far into the machine, but simply the heat is enough the air draws the heat through, and it melted the plastic. So that was a real bear to get off. But I did get it off. I put a new one in that is not melted. And I need to attach one more piece of plastic hose, and then we'll start running through it. So I will be back in a minute after I've got that, because, yeah, watching me attach a plastic hose is really not all that exciting. See, this is a filter. This is the one I replaced. Nope, this is not the one I replaced. This is the one I replaced way back here in the dark. And I need to attach that hose to it right there. It's just one of those lumpy, kind of sticking yourself in an engine compartment sort of thing. So I will be right back. I've already topped off changed some of the vacuum pump oil. You just drain out some of the stuff from the bottom and check to make sure everything's clean enough, and then load it back up. We look like we're fully intact at this point. There are no holes that I can detect in any of the pieces of plastic. I have in the past with a worse disaster actually had the plastic tubing melt, and I have spare plastic tubing for exactly that reason. So it is now time to run a test. So we put this down. I don't have the screen in there yet, so we need to find my little container of screen. There's a little container of filters. I know I saw screens here the other day. I know I have another pack besides this, but it doesn't matter. All that matters is that they have a filter. And there it is. It goes right in there like this. Simply press fits. And that is ready to go. That keeps you from sucking anything big down in there. Okay. What are you doing, Rufus? He says, I'm helping. Okay, I need to make sure this is... Excuse me, Roof. You need to move. Your butt's in the road. Dude. His butt has been perennially in the road today. It is his speciality. Okay, almost matches. Not quite. Okay, let's plug this beast in and see if we go on. We do. That's a good start. All right, so the first thing I'm going to test is this part of the system to make sure that it is drawing a vacuum. And that means that this lever here has to be flipped to the right, so it says cast there. This, and I should be able to detect, and I can. I'm getting a suction right there. Now, if I was actually casting, I would put down this pad. It lets you form a good seal. I don't know if you can see the... I'm not gonna form a perfect... I don't need a hickey. I'm not gonna form a perfect seal, but you can see that when I allow it to form a seal, it's going right up. So that part is working perfectly. That's the part that was damaged the other day with the filter. I will check this just to make sure that nothing got messed up on the other side either. And this part requires a different pad. There it is. Oh, are you helping, Rufus? Yeah. Says I'm helping. This pad goes here. And then the dome goes over the top. Like this. And that allows you to put a container inside here. Oh, and here I can clean this out. I need to actually wash this. Yeah, it's still dirty. I haven't washed it after the last time I used it. But if I turn the machine on and then flip it to the left, it's going to pull a suction on this one. And you can see the machine needle is going up. And I would start actually timing this when it hit about 20. If I had a bowl in here with water, it would actually make it boil. Because what I'm doing is I'm lowering the air pressure. Perfect. So we are, there's the air release. It's still stuck at this point. It takes a little while before it lets go. And there we go. We are ready to go. When I am just doing this part, which happens first, I will actually cover this with this very non-scientific cover. It does not come with a cover, and I've always thought it should. I've only spilled stuff in here once, but the mess up on that was enough to convince me that I should not do that anymore. So this was actually a package that had those miniature muffins in it. Like, I think brownie sort of muffins. Yeah, anyway, I just throw that over there. That way, if I spill anything while I'm working with this, it won't go down in there. It wouldn't be sucked down in there because there's no suckage unless I have this flipped to the right. So if I had it flipped to the left, it would be safe in that sense. But you can still literally pour stuff down in there, and you don't want to do that. So if anyone out there in Vic 9 land is listening, I highly recommend you provide a cover for this. I'm sure I am not the only person on the planet who's ever spilled anything down there. Okay, what else am I doing today? Let's see. This very messy area has been in use for the last couple of days, which is why it's so messy. I am creating waxes that will be used in the lost wax casting process. And each one of these containers here is a specific mold that I need to make more of. So, let me get my water out of the way. I have to, this is the wax pot here. It is currently full of molten wax that is running at about, let's see, I can't read the small print. That's running at about 100 and some odd degrees, 160 degrees or something. Then I'm going to attach a air compressor to it. I'm going to plug in my overhead light so I have more light. In case anyone is wondering what this was an art project that I did when I was taking a creativity class. Oh, I don't know. Like a gazillion years ago now. That shiny stuff is actually the mylar that they use when they give you some bouquets. It'll come with mylar or it'll come with colored stuff around the bouquet. And I had a collection of this bunch of colors, and like this is gold, and this is silver color and stuff like that. And I was just, we were kind of doing off the cuff, quick projects that didn't take any investment and were just fun. And I just made a floral pattern. And I have it sitting over here. It had been on the wall and it fell off. And I've been meaning to put it back up, but I haven't gotten around to it. So it's sitting there. This is the area that I store my molds in. Some of these molds can be used for wax only. Some of them can also be used for casting in pewter. Any of the greenish ones can be used for casting in either pewter or wax. The ones that are pink can only be used with wax. The ones that are clear can only be used with wax. And the ones that are yellow can only be used with wax. And that has to do with the temperature of the stuff. So this is less than 200 degrees. Comes up to close to 200 degrees when it's under pressure. I can't read the small print from here. My glasses are in the wrong order. But I'll show you how I do this. I'm wearing an apron that has wax down the front of it. And the reason it has wax on the front of it is you'll see that the wax molds leak sometimes when you go to fill them. So, choose something I need a wax of. And let's see. I need some crosses because I'm almost out of the waxes on some of those. So let's look up here. These are, you'll notice these have labels on them. Some of the labels fell off because they got wet, unfortunately. That's the one I need. I'm actually using a different version of these. This was probably the original I made, the original mold that I made for this cross. And I have a better one now that's modified to work better. So what I do is I take, this is not a great mold, but I'm making it work for now. I intend to replace it. So this will be leakier than usual. I have a little clamp that this goes into. Let's see which way the design. I usually put the most designed side of an object down. You have to adjust it according to whatever your equipment does the best. As I said, this has got wax in it. It's now pressurized using the compressor. And hold it like this, and we'll see how big a mess it makes.